Welcome back to LJG Sports. We're going to talk today about DeAndre Ayton and the Los Angeles Lakers. They have agreed on a 2-year contract. So DeAndre Ayton, who was released by Portland just a couple of days ago, is now signing with the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers finally get that center that they've been looking for ever since last year, really, once they traded Anthony Davis away. It was a big thing came playoff time. Where when they were facing up against the Timberwolves, who had some really good bigs in Rudy Gobert, Naz Reid, even Julius Randle, it really showed that they really needed a center badly. They needed a bunch of things, but center was definitely the number one thing. They tried to trade for Mark Williams after they traded away Anthony Davis to acquire Luka Doncic. That never worked out. The physical, Rod Williams failed the physical, so it ended up not working. But they finally get their guy. DeAndre Ayton is a pretty household name, I would say, if you're an NBA fan, average NBA fan. He was the number one pick in 2018, I believe. And I wouldn't say he's a bust, but he definitely hasn't lived up to the potential that he could have. Like I said, is a 2-year deal. I don't know the specifics of it yet. They're saying he'll earn $34 million next year. So if it's a 2-year, about $60-something million deal, $70 million deal, that's quite a lot, honestly. For me, I think seeing as free agency went the first couple of days, the Lakers really didn't do much. I said they needed a center. They got DeAndre Ayton, really the only one that was pretty decent left. I wouldn't say DeAndre Ayton's the best rim protector, but he is a good lob threat, has decent offensive game. But there's always been questions about his motor, and I've already seen a couple articles highlighting, will DeAndre Ayton actually play hard for LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, all this stuff. So what I think of it, I think maybe they paid a little too much if he is earning close to $35 million per year the next 2 years. But obviously the Lakers needed to sign someone. They did get DeAndre Ayton. I think that he's a solid center in this league. For the Lakers, who are trying to compete for a championship next year, I would assume, with LeBron James' contract ending after next year and Luka Doncic, you would think they for sure at least want to make one good run with Luka, with LeBron James. So if you look at their depth chart, excuse me, I'm really tired. I got off work late today. Luka Doncic is their starting one, obviously. You got LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves will be your 2, and DeAndre Ayton presumably will be the starting 5. But you go to their bench, you have guys like Gabe Vincent, you still have Dalton Connect, you have Jake LaRavia, who they just signed, which I thought was a decent pickup. I didn't think anything special from that. Jared Vanderbilt, their backup 5, I really don't know. Max Kleber, I guess, will be their backup 5. For me, this Lakers team, despite the DeAndre Ayton signing, still is pretty far away from winning or competing at a high level. Of course, they have Luka and they have LeBron, so anything's possible. But in that matchup against the Timberwolves last year, they really struggled to get anything going. I think they got lucky. They won Game 2, and it was a gentleman's sweep. I mean, they were completely dismantled by Minnesota, who ended up being completely dismantled by OKC. And it just shows that there's levels to this. And I feel like clearly the East is a big old mess. The East is always easier. As a Spurs fan, I hate that. The East has always been, it feels like since I've been born, the easier conference. And of course, we're in the West. The East is wide open with the Celtics and Jason Tatum out in their whole reconstruction of the roster. The Pacers losing Miles Turner and Tyrese Halliburton is out for most of next year. You have the Bucks, who just got rid of Damian Lillard, and they signed Miles Turner, but I really don't think they're still that good. You have teams like the Cavs, Knicks, even the Magic, and maybe the 76ers, if they can turn it around, who competes in the East. But the West is totally different. The West is such an animal. I feel like there's only a couple of teams in the West that were guaranteed to be really bad next year. I think the Jazz are obviously one. The Pelicans are an interesting roster. I think they may not be as bad as next year as they were this year, but they probably will be. And after that, almost every other team really has a chance to be at least decent, in my opinion. Trailblazers showed some promise last year. towards the later half of the year. Spurs getting Victor back, getting a full season of Victor and Fox. You add Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle gets older, gets better. That'll be a fun team to watch. The West is tough, and to me, I see it. The Lakers are still in tier 3 in the West. I feel like there's tiers and there's levels to this. The Lakers are still in tier 3 with a lot of teams. I feel like the clear-cut number 1, and there's only one team there, it's the Oklahoma City Thunder. They had a dominant season, one of the best defenses ever, and they're running it back with basically everyone they had last year. And a bunch of their young guys, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, are just going to get older, have more time to bond and build chemistry. They're clear number 1 until proven otherwise. They're the champs. They're in the tier on their own. In tier 2, I have the Rockets and the Nuggets. The Rockets were the 2nd seed last year. They add Kevin Durant. They also add Clint Capella, which I didn't really think made much sense. They also added someone else who I can't think off the top of my head. But the Rockets are going to be really good next year with KD. The Nuggets, who have really made themselves solidified in that tier 2, they got Bruce Brown back. They traded Michael Porter Jr. away for Cam Johnson, I feel like they did a great job doing that. Then they also traded for Jonas Valanciunas, and then they also signed Tim Hardaway Jr. to come off the bench. So they're going to be a deep, fun team to watch next year, and they have obviously Jokic. They're in tier 2 also. And then I feel like there's tier 3 teams. There's teams like the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Los Angeles Lakers, possibly the Dallas Mavericks. We'll see how healthy they are, though, next year. I honestly probably would put the Mavericks a tier below, along with my San Antonio Spurs. You have teams like the Golden State Warriors, Clippers. The Lakers are in that tier. Yes, DeAndre Ayton does help them. They clearly, obviously needed a center. Jackson Hayes was not going to get it done. But I don't think this puts them in they're really going to contend next year. I feel like the way it stands right now and the way the West has shaped up, the Lakers are at best the 4th seed. Unless injuries obviously happen. And injuries are inevitable, it seems like every year. But as the way currently stands, I don't think they're getting past the Rockets. I don't think they're having a better season than the Thunder or the Rockets. I don't think they're having a better season than the Nuggets. I really like the Nuggets the way they're constructed. If I wasn't going for the Thunder, if I had to pick right now, I would say that the Nuggets are going to win the championship next year. But that's just me. That's really early, obviously. But I really like their team, the way it's set up. To me, the Lakers still have a lot of holes in their roster. DeAndre Ayton, again, is not the best rim protector, so you still have to worry about Luka's defense, Austin Reeves' defense, even someone like LeBron, who isn't the best defender, who's going to be 40-41. So, to me, yes, DeAndre Ayton is a fun name. It will be fun to watch DeAndre Ayton catching lobs from Luka and LeBron in LA. But, again, his motor has been in question, and this Lakers team as a whole just still needs, I feel like, 1 or 2 more solid players to really make them in contention in the West, because the West is going to be tough next year. The West has always been tough, and I just don't think they're in that tier of elite company like the Thunder, like the Nuggets, and like the Houston Rockets. Heck, I would even go as far to say I still like the Clippers roster more than the Lakers. That's just me personally. Let me know if you disagree or agree with that. Or if anything I said in this video, let me know what you disagree with, agree with down in the comment section below. What grade would you give the Lakers for signing DeAndre Ayton to this 2-year deal? Let me know down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you guys.